Recently on the Time Teller channel, I've been fortunate enough to have access to some really cool watches with some really interesting materials used, with unique layouts and presentation, and that's really fun. And again, I'm blessed to have access to the watches that I have access to. But it's caused an increase in requests from you guys for me to talk about one specific watchmaker. And this is a watchmaker I've yet to mention on my channel. I've never reviewed any of their watches. Again, I've never mentioned this brand on my channel, and I've been on YouTube for, I think, coming on 7 years now. I'm talking about Aventi watches. Now, Aventi is, not conventional. You can look at their design. This is one of their wristwatches. We're going to talk about it in a moment, but there's nothing like normal about an Aventi wristwatch. And it also makes sense why, not a lot of watch reviewers have access to them, because when watch reviewers look at micro brands, for instance, most micro brands on their Kickstarters or whatever, they will advertise that they are limited. And it's true, like, they don't have the resources to produce a ton of watches because by definition they are a micro brand. So we will often see like a micro brand come out with a watch with 3 different dial variants, and they might say like 500 here, 500 there, and then 500 for the last dial color. Well, Aventi has a limited production run of 10 watches per year. Okay, so it makes sense why us watch reviewers might not be so easily available to like get one in our hot little hands. So I did some string pulling, and I made a few phone calls, and I said, hey, I'm the Time Teller, please help me out. I have an audience I need to appease, or else they're gonna unsubscribe from me. And all of that crying and begging and pleading paid off, because I was able to get the inside scoop from Aventi themselves on their newest model release. We're going to be taking a look at that right now. The Enygma A18-01 in white opal PMT. And again, guys, you're not really going to be able to get this information anywhere else, so please stay tuned. It is 2:30 p.m. Let's get down to business. All right, so here we can see an Aventi wristwatch. Again, specifically, this is the new Enygma A18-01 in white opal PMT. PMT stands for Polymer Mix Technology. This is a proprietary material that Aventi uses. It's a fusion of 80% silica and 20% premium polymer, and you can see this watch plays with the light like crazy. But the proprietary materials don't stop there. They also use something called sapphite, which is Aventi's kind of upgraded sapphire crystal. And speaking of sapphire, the handset on this watch is made from carved sapphire. So on this channel, we've been able to take a look at watches with sapphire crystals. We've been able to take a look at some watches even with sapphire cases, but this is the first watch that I've ever gotten to review with a sapphire handset. And then there's the movement. So I have the spec sheet here. I want to read to you everything that went into this GT01S Swiss tourbillon movement. Aventi's thought process here was to minimize components and maximize quality. So they took this movement and they reduced the components of the tourbillon from 40 plus to 18. Consolidation of components and production in military grade 5 titanium results in increased shock resistance and attention to detail at every level. So listen to this. This is where it gets crazy. Beveling, mirror polishing, countersinking, and torquing every screw, pearlage finishing on every millimeter of the front and back of this movement, decorated with deep gold engraving and protected by black carbon material, VVS diamond set into the grade 5 titanium plate, master watchmaking and accuracy, so each movement is checked and rate adjusted by master watchmakers, and they must be within an accuracy of plus minus 4 seconds per day. More accurate than a chronometer, actually. Okay, so adjusting the delicate balance spring of perfect oscillations every second. So this all sounds good on paper, and it looks very, very interesting, but what's the warranty like? Because a lot of times when I review these really interesting limited pieces, people are like, oh, well, how am I going to get it serviced if I buy one? What's going to happen when I buy it and something might go wrong and blah, blah, blah. Well, Aventi offers a 5-year international warranty. That's very, very good. And I get it. So I reviewed watches for a long enough period of time here. Whenever I mention a brand that people are unsure of or they've never heard of, they're always like, where is it made? Huh? Where are they produced? In a back alley somewhere? Well, Aventi pieces are produced in collaboration with master watchmakers in La Chaux-de-Fonds, Switzerland. Now, again, I guess the unfortunate information here is that these are limited, like hyper limited to 10 pieces a year. And if you like what you see, you might feel like there's no way to get one. Well, okay, I'm going to leave a link to Aventi's website in the description below, but Aventi Concierge Services allocates each timepiece individually, so you register and then they call you. So I get it. After kind of reviewing this watch and taking a look at everything that went into this watch and learning more about the brand itself, this is definitely not a conventional wristwatch, and it's not a conventional wristwatch purchasing experience, right? They're hyper limited. But when I look at something like this, it's just clearly a meticulously designed, meticulously built, moving piece of art, and I'm just stoked that I was able to get access to one to share with you, and hopefully we can get more Aventi wristwatches on this channel, and I can kind of keep you posted with everything they do, because it's a very, very interesting, uncommon to say the least, watchmaker. But I want to hear from you guys. Leave me a comment. What do you think about this Aventi Enygma? What do you think about all the materials and the movement? Again, I learned from you just as much as you learned from me, so leave me that comment and I will see you there. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed. I'm Jory Goodman, the time teller, and always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it.